I know. I have a couch there, though.
Whoa. It goes further back. How are we going to do the podcast right here?
We're going to set it up over there.
We just look at each other and how. I'm going to fall asleep. Slow next drink.
Yes. Okay. Back. Episode 3. Going down. This time, new location.
Nate's house.
Nate's house.
So, we've decided and committed to dropping our podcast on every Thursday, correct?
Every Thursday, we will drop a new podcast. From now on, we'll go to a weekly schedule, I think.
Yeah.
And if the situation warrants, we'll do like day of.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Like if there's something super crazy and it needs discussing. Needs discussing.
More caffeine.
We're gonna do it.
Start slurring my words.
2 coffees in and now we're having some kind of other little energy drink. So
it's nice. There's not alcohol in here. Sorry about those cars.
So huge week. Just like we said in the last podcast, backdoor shootout was planned to run. The pipe swell came. It ends up being straight up. I don't know how. It's freakishly
good.
Best pipe of the whole season. It's during the shootout, and it looks like it's starting the run, another run. Like you said in the other podcast, you were like, and it usually starts the run. We have more swell coming that looks like that.
Shootout is the kickoff for good wintertime season. And
it is crazy how consistently good.
Every year, Wave of the Winters have been won. We gotta start ours. But I remember I was talking to my dad at the beginning of the holding period. He's like, "Oh, it looks so bad," and this swell that had just come through had popped up. I'm like, "Dad, this is the best swell I've ever seen come in a pipe." Like it was 11 feet 17 seconds, which is exactly the numbers you want. Like perfect pipe and backdoor. And sure enough, the last 2 days of the holding period got good. And I was talking to my dad because my dad puts on the Hui backdoor shootout. Him and the Hui O'Hei and Alu put that event on every year, so they're in charge of making the call and stuff. And I was talking to my dad a lot. And somehow there was one good day that we possibly could have ran. Backdoor got really fun, and we didn't, which was, I think now is a good call, because if people were getting scores on a day that's like 5 to 6 feet at backdoor, and then the swell coming, there's 2 days of massive pipe. Like
it's really hard. Like a guy's 10 on that day is not going to be equivalent to like, and the 10 on the really good day. It's like fair. You have to judge on the day, but it's also, it's unfair because maybe like one of those guys just had a really fun wave, but then the other guy had the wave of his life.
Yeah.
And both have 10s, so it's like...
Well, you can't compare a 10 to 12 foot pipe wave to a 5 to 6 foot pipe backdoor wave.
No, not at all.
So that's where it becomes a little difficult for that event, because it's your top 3 scores tallied up is the winner. And it becomes a little tricky if you run it on a day that's good but small, and then you get the craziest waves ever like we did. Yeah. That was the second day.
Best pipe I've ever seen.
The best pipe I've ever seen in my entire life. With only a couple guys out.
I was sitting on my couch watching the live stream the whole day.
I was thinking about you.
Dying inside.
I felt bad, dude. What is the prognosis on your spine? Do we know yet?
Don't know yet, but I just know that I'm like 100% better than where we filmed last time. Like it's every day it's getting better.
Nice.
So I'm just thinking I just got power flexed and whatever was just sore. I don't think any bones or joints or anything. I'm still waiting for the specialist to look at it. But
the MRI?
The MRI. Got the MRI. One doctor said MRI looks good. It looks clean. I can't see anything wrong. The fact that he didn't say nothing was wrong, I was a little like, fuck, maybe have someone else look at it, because I was in a lot of pain. But now it's like getting better every day, so I think it's healing up. Anyway, back to, that's why the reason I was sitting on the couch watching, and I was just like in these chairs, and I was like,
I wish you were there.
It wasn't just really good, it was really consistent.
It was,
Guys were in a heat with 4 other guys at 10 to 12 foot pipe, riding like 6 to 8 waves a heat. Usually that's spread out between a whole day of surfing. That many waves in one heat.
Yeah. unheard of.
Part of why I think that day will go down as not just like one of the best days of surf competition ever, but one of the heaviest due to how many people got injured. And I think it was due to their odds of just they're riding so many waves. Their odds were way higher of hitting.
Yeah, it was powerful. It was moving faster than normal, and it was heavier when you took off on the wave. Yeah, it was one of those days where when you can you take late drops and you can really stick to the wave.
Yeah,
it was like pushing you off
of
that.
Gosh,
so it was
lurching.
It was just moving quicker and lurching and doubling up even heavier as we've seen a bunch of our really good friends and great surfers got really messed up. So it started with
your brother?
No, it started
the day before with
day
Billy.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
I was right there on the beach, ran down. So Billy Kemper, the day before, the first day of the shootout ran, was still an incredible day.
Yeah, insane
crazy.
day.
It was the 2 best days of pipe I've ever seen. But so Billy goes down, almost goes unconscious. I'm not sure. We gotta get him on here and talk to him. But
I had PK sent me a clip. We'll play that clip. The clip is so bad. Watching the clip, and if you didn't talk to him, you would think he broke his back. He's did something horrendous. He got so crushed on a 10-foot wave, lip to body, so bad. I was like, oh my god, he's done. But I talked to him and I was like, fuck.
There's teeth marks in his surfboard. He hit his face on his board. It's as bad as you can wipe out a pipe. And
oh my god.
He popped. He didn't really pop up, but you know how we can really tell a surfer's body language when they fall?
Yes, 100%.
So he was his board, this is the most dangerous thing about pipe, is when you go unconscious or you're borderline unconscious or drowning and you lose your board, because your board out there when you are unconscious becomes your lifeline.
This is why we all need to wear flotation.
Yeah.
You need to wear the spring suit with a couple pads.
Yeah, I agree. We should always have that on.
Yeah, because if you hit your head unconscious, whether you have helmet or not, you hit your head unconscious, if your leash breaks, you're not finding that body until at Pupukea. The current's taking it.
Yeah, it's so scary. But Billy, leash, first thing when I talked to him, he's like, my leash just blew right off.
Yeah.
He thought he blew his knee out. He said if he didn't have his knee brace on his knee that's still healing, he would have crushed that. But anyway, the most dangerous part was he almost went unconscious. And I remember being on the beach watching, and I know I was the first one to see him, even over the water patrol, because the water patrol went past him and went to pick someone else up. And I was on the beach screaming, he's over there, pointing.
Shit.
And luckily they're because it's not easy to see exactly what's going on, especially when people are falling.
There's so much going on. In one set, there's 6 people are in the impact zone already.
Yeah, so even if the best lifesavers in the world are out there to save you, it's good when everyone's watching and able to point them in the right direction. But I remember seeing Billy, his arms just go kind of limp at the surface, he was fighting.
Holy shit.
I was I didn't know if it was he broke something.
He trying to weigh, but he's not fully conscious.
He was almost out.
Jeez.
But just fighting mentally and physically to just stay at the top, so he didn't go down.
Yeah, because he didn't have his board attached to him.
He didn't have his board attached to him, and luckily they were right there, grabbed him, pulled him on the ski, and ended up being okay. He's okay now, but it was super scary.
That was the start of it.
That was the start of it. Then the next day, Makua goes over the falls super bad. I guess he's got to go.
The clip is crazy.
I know, I haven't seen it yet.
I heard it's crazy. I wish we had it so we could look it over.
Yeah, we gotta find it.
But yeah, go on.
I'll get it. And then Makua blows his knee out. He needs surgery. Knee surgery. He's going to Dr. Mossy in San Francisco.
Everything's done in his knee.
I don't know exactly what happened, but I just talked to my dad before I came here.
Dude, that sucks.
It's super unfortunate. And then that was Makua.
2 minutes later, I heard it was within the next set. The claw thing happened.
Because I had just showed up, and this is just from my perspective anyway, so I just showed up and everyone's like, dude, Makua just got messed up. And he just come in on the ski, they grabbed him. And I ran down there, he's like, oh, I'm okay with my knee. And he was shook and limping up the beach, or limping back up to the house. And then literally, the next set, Kala Grace, like, almost died. Like, he's...
Dude, it was so weird because I was here. I just turned the webcast back on because Ivan was the next heat.
Yeah.
And I'm watching. I see Kala go on his wave live. He pulls in, close out. I'm watching, the drone is filming, and I see his helmet come up because his helmet floats. It's off his head, and I'm like, oh shoot, he slammed his head. But he didn't, not on the first one.
No.
He comes up, grabs his board, and he starts scratching to go back out. He's like, he looked for his helmet for a second, and it looked like he was like, oh fuck it, I'm gonna go back out. He starts scratching. Drone just stays right on him. There's like a 5-foot insider. He just scratching to make it under. He duck dives, and he just duck dove. Like, it was literally like this, like duck dove and lip, and you just know, like, didn't make it.
Oh god.
So it explodes, and it just is a mellow wave. The next one is Emio's 12-footer, like super slab. Like, Emio almost had a crazy wave, but as that's happening, Claw's broken board pops up. He takes a while to pop up. He pops up, and he looks weird, just like you said, looks a little weird. He starts waving, and then I'm like, oh shoot, he's waving. He don't go underwater. He waves for a second, puts his hand down, and then his head is above water. Wave just hits him.
Oh god.
He didn't go under at all. I'm like, oh, he's messed up 100%. The ski, seen him, the ski jets in, but from that wave, dude, he goes under, and it's just his board is broken, so only the bottom half is tombstoning. He don't come up for 3 waves. They got him to the beach so quick, and any longer, I don't know if he's making it, because when they pull him up the beach, there's just a quick clip before they cut. He's so limp. I'm sitting here with my chick. Mahina's nearly crying, because Kala, we all grew up with him. Like, these are our close friends in the event.
I was right there.
Tripping. He just looked limp, like dead body style.
I'm so glad he's gonna be okay.
Yeah. Update on Kala. He's doing much better.
Yeah, he went into ICU. I guess it was pretty super gnarly. As gnarly as it can get. And I guess they had to put breathing tubes in him.
He like stopped breathing on the way to the hospital or something, and some tubes went in, and they did good. And he's young and strong and beast and just
fucking
warrior pulled through.
And they took his tubes out. I guess he's progressing. He's got a long recovery ahead of him, but
when you ran down the beach, did you see the cut?
Yeah.
And it was just horrendous.
It was pretty bad. It's just the worst thing ever to see, especially in our world, is like the strongest people I know, which are my closest friends.
Yeah.
Like Makua, my older brother, Billy, Kala Grace, like these are some of the strongest people I know, and they're unconscious.
Unconscious.
It's the craziest thing to see. Like, I can't imagine ever like what they went through, but like to see it really puts into perspective of like what we're doing is actually no joke. And Pipeline was literally just reminding us.
And the reminder is so gnarly because the way it happened on a duck dive on a medium-sized wave on the way back out.
That's crazy.
It's not always going to be the biggest, heaviest wave that does it to you. It can happen on a fucking duck dive.
It's crazy. I didn't know that because I was on the beach. I remember seeing his, was it half of his board next to his helmet?
Yeah.
Because his helmet was like bobbing. I was like, is that a leash? I'm like, where is Kala? And then all those other waves are coming. I'm like scanning like at one of the houses, and luckily the lifeguards or the water safety was right there. But dude, so gnarly. What can happen on?
Yeah, and I see this. It's interesting though. Like, but neither you or me has been through like a situation that dramatically, but definitely like really hardcore beatdowns.
Yeah.
And I see people ask it a lot. Is like, what's it like for you coming back and going back into the water? For me, I feel like the worst beatdowns I have ever had right after I'm a little shook up, but either my just goldfish memory or something, like I forget the worst parts really quickly.
You just got shook so bad.
Instead of fearing to go back out, which I might for like that day, I just forget the bad part that happened, and I'm like okay to go back out. But it seems like a lot of people like get traumatized to the point that some never return to big wave surfing.
Yeah, I think like we're not competitive surfers, but we are competitive in getting a good wave, and there's probably like not much that's going to stop us from going back out and trying to get.
It's so
like,
funny you
the
say
best
that
wave.
because I was thinking about this whole thing yesterday, and I was like, oh, you just forget like anything, like all the pain, anything, like you just forget it, and you only remember like certain things.
Yeah.
And the thing you remember is, for me, like just like you're saying, is like who got the best wave that day. And that's what like really irks you. Like,
Yeah.
like you fell and you had this horrible wipeout, but all you can think about is like, I didn't get the wave of the day. Like,
It's
the most
crazy.
mind-bending, weirdest, because it doesn't always translate to heats. Like in a heat, we're freaking weirdos and we just wig out. But
Just blow it.
you throw us under the life-threatening situations and we're comping out with each other.
You just have to. I think it's easier to like perform when there's other really good people out there.
Yeah.
Like if you're out there, I'm probably pushing it way harder than if you're not out there.
Yeah.
So it puts me in like a better spot, a better like
And
wave.
it
and, like,
simplifies the competition. Like right in a heat, you're having to think, okay, I need to outsurf this guy,
Yeah.
or I need to outsurf this heat, or I need to use priority. In a big wave event, it's like all I need to do is just go on a bigger wave than this guy.
Yeah.
like it's so narrowed down to like, to win today, I need to go on the heaviest wave that comes in.
It's like
Simple goal.
If I don't go, he's gone.
Yeah.
So I have to go.
So good.
These chairs are so comfy.
I know.
I'm about to fall asleep right here.
You know what's crazy, going back to that zone at Pipe, or just the accident that happened, is
Yeah.
how notorious that zone at Pipe is. I was talking to Mark Healy about it.
Oh, just a little over?
Just right where the reef goes to sand. That's where Kalal hit. That's where Kalani Chapman hit. That's where Uncle D hit back in the day. Mark Healy said he thinks it's the most dangerous place at Pipe. And he
Yeah.
said in most of the barrels out there that he's made there, he's never seen more times where the lip lands and cuts enough water to go straight to reef. I was like, that's so interesting.
Yeah, I guess so, because every time I'm like a wave does something and it messes me up, it's always on that shelf of reef, right on the end where it connects to sand.
Yeah.
It like throws a little too hollow and knocks
Something
you off.
like that. Something like that. It's a weird little zone out there.
It really parts the water, because Pipe is the reason it's the most dangerous wave in the world and has hurt so many people is because there's so much force of this wave, which a lot of waves have, but where Pipe like releases its force is on about this deep of water, on just a solid concrete feeling pinnacle caves, like the most dangerous. It's like getting like, I don't even know how to
It's
explain
really weird
it. Like,
because like
we need a clip of like the
Pipe would be
reef.
considered the slab, right?
Yeah.
But the way it breaks is like Porto, like a big beach break style, huge teepees coming in and hitting, and so it's a slab with a bottom like a beach break, huge like lumpy, almost, it's pretty even but has caves.
Yeah.
Surface, huge hard surface. Any other slab, think of what it does. It comes out of deep water, it hits the slab, then goes into deep water
And
again.
it kind of it pulls you off. And when it
pull
hits you,
you
goes
off
like
and-
down like somewhere else.
down into like deeper water. But to have that big of a huge flat section of reef, there's not just that main danger zone, there's like this huge area where maybe you don't hit on the first go over, you hit on the second one,
Or the next wave.
or paddling out.
Yeah.
Whereas like something like Chopes, right, it's kind of deep where the lip's landing, just off that it's shallow, and then a lagoon again.
Yeah.
If you get sucked into the right, it's a super dangerous zone, but there's really specific areas that are really dangerous.
Yes.
Pipe has like this huge area.
Well, how many pipe waves and backdoor waves have you been in, like in the barrel? You're like, oh no, I'm not making it. And it starts drawing so much water off the reef, you're literally looking at exposed rock.
Yeah.
On like a 10-foot slab.
You're like, this is it.
You're just like, I don't even know how to fall right here.
I don't know how
Do I
to
belly
fall.
flop on the reef, or do
Yeah.
I just like ball up?
Oh, it's so sketchy.
So sketchy. But anyway, that shootout, those waves that came through that day, I've never seen more consistently good waves come through at Pipe
It
ever
was
in my
so
entire
sick.
life.
You got mental waves in your heat.
I was on the
Mental
3
waves
best
in your
waves
heat.
of the day, and
That's-
only made one.
The two you didn't make.
Oh my god, they would have been as high as the score could be. They would have been the best waves I've ever had in my life.
You would have won our own wave of the winter.
I know. You would have had to just have to pay me. We put up
I
half
would
the
have been
money.
the saltiest guy ever, having to give you a check for that.
Oh my god, that would have been the best thing ever.
So funny. I saw both those waves, dude. But the one you made was like fucked up.
Yeah, thank you.
The drop was so late. It was so under it. It was already
Yeah.
like crumbling white water.
I remember like watching Reef because Reef McIntosh was in my heat. I'm like, he's not gonna go. He's not gonna go. He's not gonna go. I'm like, oh, he's not going. So I whipped it.
Yeah, it looks like you whipped it way inside of it.
Yeah, because I was watching him, and he was just too far out. Luckily, he didn't go. But I know I just a little airdropped, and I got in that barrel, and the wave before was the best wave I've ever caught, and fell. And I took off on that one. I'm like, this was literally 5 minutes after I got that wave, the wave before. And I was just remember being in the barrel. I'm like, I am not falling. I just got like as standstill as possible and wide, and just started gripping my toes into the wax. Like, I'm not falling on this wave only because I fell on that one before.
Yeah, it was that one crazy slab, so you already had it in your head. Like,
Yeah,
I
I was
had to
saying,
make it. And then you got another chance and another one.
I was
But
in, so those two that I didn't make, I was in not the best spot.
No, you were just a little deep. I
And
thought.
I have reasons. So it's
Let's
not
hear
my
'em.
fault.
Let's hear them. Never blame yourself.
Yeah.
Blame everything else.
So, funny enough, that first wave that I caught and fell on, that would have been the best wave of my life, wouldn't have even counted.
Do you have the clips of those? We gotta see them.
Yeah, I have the clips.
Okay.
We'll put them in. We'll put them all.
Oh,
right
because
here.
that was before the heat started.
So the Team Japan was out. And I'm
Yeah.
watching this Japanese guy. We're like, they literally said 20 seconds left, and then all of a sudden we're in the lineup with them, and that set's coming through. I'm watching this Japanese guy paddle over. I'm like, he's too deep, but if he's in the heat, like he might go. So I'm
Yeah.
like looking at him. Whereas I usually would have been like, I know where to be. So I was like, I would have been over here. But I'm watching him, and then all of a sudden the horn blows, and I was like, oh my god, I'm going no matter what.
yeah,
Because they're not in their heat.
they're
That's
not.
the best
They're
we've
no
ever
longer
seen
in
coming in.
heat.
Yeah.
Like, you're on.
I don't know. You can go behind me if you want. But, dude, I'm like, whip it. I'm just looking down, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm a little too deep, like 10
Yeah,
feet
that's what it
over
looked like.
where I would have been.
Yeah,
Was like,
because if
I would
you
have
had it start paddling sooner, you would have positioned a little
I would
better.
have positioned myself a lot better and been in a good spot, because when I was in that barrel, I was just like trying as hard as I could, but you know how powerful it gets.
I love those guys. I love when they do that early morning, late night, midday.
Sound gay to you?
Rev your engine, please. I love waking up to that. Right up the hill.
It's a
please.
good alarm clock, huh? It's like the
Sheesh.
chickens here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I was saying. Oh, that barrel just got too powerful and it was a little too deep. I couldn't get, like when the foam ball hit me, you know, you can be on the good side of it or the bad side of it.
Yeah.
I was just like 3 feet away from being in the right spot to get like thrown out. It just exploded me.
Do you
But-
think pipe? Okay, I may have told you this theory before. Do you think pipe breaks better with less guys out because of my water displacement theory?
I've heard this theory before.
I think you take 100 guys out of the lineup off the reef, and the water sits differently. Because I swear the waves I was watching were not normal. Like, I've seen pipe really good, really crowded,
So-
but this was like really, really, really good.
So-
No one in the water, and the way they're breaking,
They were
clean,
coming in differently.
perfect cupping faces. No bodies kicking through it. Nobody making blood. Nothing.
So I think that's the main thing. I don't know about water displacement in the ocean, which I don't know. I'm no.
we need one of you
Scientist.
scientists, one of you physicists.
You could be onto something, but I think it is. The wave looks a lot better when there's no one out.
Yeah.
And there's not all these boogie boards on the inside, not the million photographers on the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Because a lot of times when we're surfing, those guys mess up the waves.
They kick through.
Yeah, when you get to see it with no one out, it's like, when it's good, it's like, it's different, because even if, say, all four of us in the heat don't get it, that wave is clean and perfect.
Yeah.
Whereas it would have been like a bunch of kids and boogie boards just kicking over it,
Kicking
like crazy,
over and foaming in the face.
displacing the water. So
Water displacement theory. It
water
has merit.
displace you. I don't know. Let us know in the comments. Nate's onto something here. You could be, because the best it's ever.
You be
looked.
the judge.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. Those days were just perfect.
And it looks like more on the way.
There's so much slow on the way. They're thinking about running the Eddie or the Jaws event in a couple days. Are you good to go or what?
I'm hoping each day just gets better, and I'll be good to go.
So how are you feeling right now? Where do you feel it exactly? Like mid-back?
Just below mid-back on either side of my spine, and like just it now just feels like it's the muscles around it. It doesn't feel like it's my actual spine or anything like that. It just feels like the muscles around it. I think it's like there's whiplash in your neck.
Yeah.
But I feel like I have it something like whiplash in my low back.
I mean, yeah, I bet.
Which is kind of best case scenario. No bulge disc, which is my biggest nightmare, because that's like a never-ending nightmare.
That's what I had.
No cracked bones, which is just, you need to heal.
Yeah.
But there's nothing to do. There's no surgery or anything. Just muscular. I can heal that. I can train that. Like
best case scenario.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. You had a good. That's the way they told you. There's no bulge disc or herniated.
One guy said that, so we're waiting on the other thing. But I don't know. All I know is as soon as my back's good, I'm going back to just lifting. Deadlifts.
Lots of work.
As much as I can. Because I wasn't, what I was doing? I was not really like training as much. We were surfing a lot, but I was kind of like, I was starting to mix it. I was like doing a weird random midweek workout, and then partying on the weekends, and then surfing all the time. And so I was like going out a little more than fucking.
And then going to surf 25-foot jaws.
Exactly, like we kind of came off that New Year's bender. What is that?
Something happened with the card, I think.
Oh, let me quick glitch out. We kind of came off that New Year's bender and went straight into a 20-foot swell.
That was heavy.
And so, I don't know, I can't wait to start training again. I train.
You train more. You train more than anyone I know, I think.
And I was just gonna say, I train I don't really train just for surfing.
Train to look good.
No, not that either. You train to look good.
That's the only reason I work out.
I'm fucking. What is it?
No
show, all go.
Yeah.
All go, no show.
I'm all show, no go.
All show, no go.
Yeah.
That's our workout programs here.
Yeah.
I train because I need something to make me not go crazy during the day, and it needs to be painful enough to take my mind off of everything else.
Yeah, we should talk a little bit about your diet, because a lot of people probably do know a little bit.
I'm assuming everyone thinks I'm like clean eating,
Oh God.
dialed in. Someone's hurt.
Yeah. I think this camera stopped recording.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Hit recording.
Well, no, the card's full.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah.
Shoot. Okay, we're on to camera 2 over here.
I think. What's that?
This is so funny.
How do you live right here?
I told you.
What is going on? Is it like this all day?
It's literally like this every day.
I couldn't do that.
I just live in this crazy thing of noise, and every morning like
Just some donkey revving their engine up for the
the
kid.
delivery trucks pull up with their chicken. Like, I know what's being delivered to the store right here. I know when the chicken arrives. I know when everything arrives because I can smell it.
Because you're just yelling at them, shut up every morning.
Shut the hell up with your orange chicken delivery.
It's
I can't take it anymore.
It's your orange chicken. Wait, let's get back into talking about your diet, dude.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Talking about orange chicken.
Nate's diet. We're interrupted for a second. This camera, we ran out of storage on the card. Hopefully got that clip, but go on.
Okay.
Nate's diet. You would be the most fit person in the world, maybe.
So
Fit looking, at least.
Fit looking, but does it really matter if your performance is there? I don't know. Maybe my performance would be that much better, but my diet, you guys probably think I'm like some crazy clean eating super freak with food. It's pretty bad. Like, I'll try my best for 1 or 2 days, but my biggest weakness is food, really. Like, that's where all my lack of willpower is. Like, I've always said it. If I wasn't a surfer and did what I did, I would be obese.
Dude.
I think that's my freak love for food. I would be obese. I'm talking like, I'm not a sweets guy. I don't know about the
You're
unless
a
it's ice
cheese
cream.
guy.
I'm like savory guy, like oily, like double, triple burgers, Taco Bell. I'm going over to Food Line. I'm like, why do I have flaming hot Cheetos in my fridge again? How did this happen?
So
How
gross,
did I get
dude.
here? I'm over here making I'll end up with a bowl and it's cheddar popcorn and flaming Cheetos in the popcorn. White cheddar Cheez-Its. I'm like, what are you doing? And Mahina's so funny because she's so supportive that she just is like, she's like, oh yeah, you served a lot. Like you need to get your calories up, babe.
Yeah, carb load.
Keep
10,000
going,
calories
keep
in a
going.
bowl.
And then like day like 4 or 5 because your tolerance, like you want more each night.
That food is built to hack your brain. Like
Yeah,
that.
it's hacking my brain.
Yeah.
And she eventually, I know it's bad when Mahina finally goes, hey, I'm not saying like, it's not like you're not getting fat or like nothing like that. I'm worried you're gonna have a heart attack. Like you need to stop. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna give it 2 good days.
That's scary.
I'm gonna give it 2 good days for you, babe.
This one's for you. I'll get a photo from Nate of just a quesadilla with like a layer of like this much sour cream on it.
The worst part
So
is the
gross.
question that you always, when I send those photos, this is Koa's question: is that sour cream or mayonnaise?
Because you had your mayonnaise thing for a while, and then you switched to sour cream.
It's horrible being asked that, but
It's horrible to eat like that. But
Yeah.
you somehow pull it together.
pull it together. You know what? I've done every diet there is. I've done every kind of training there is. I've done counting macros if it fits your macros. I've done keto. I've done carb cycling. I've done all of them. And I will say, my
This is way
recovery
better.
and performance was a lot better on those diets. Like except for keto, which didn't like. This is actually interesting because I kind of know the diets that worked for surfing and didn't. Keto. I don't know how much fats you'd have to consume to keep up with a caloric intake that surfing causes you to burn, but every time I did it, you would need years of having been fat adapted to keep up with that burn. Like I could not get enough of the food in without carbohydrates, and my recovery would go down. I wouldn't even like, I'd wake up like no boner, like nothing, like deadpan body and sleep, testosterone bonking, everything like. And I would just be like, I can't do it. Like cramping because your body on keto drains so much water. You get so dry
Yeah.
that like
Because keto is just fats, right?
It's just fats and protein.
Okay.
You cut out carbs and your body transfers over to burning fat, which should be more efficient. And it is like a slower burn, but when your body's not prepared to do that, it doesn't have like the mitochondria. Like this is all from learning about it from Daniel and stuff.
You know more.
Over years of someone being fat adapted, they literally get more mitochondria, which are energy creating, so that their body learns to burn fat like it does carbs. It's crazy that the transformation that happens, but that takes years, in my opinion. Like, so
basically, a normal person right now who's just been eating like a normal guy or girl forever is getting their energy from carbs, right?
every time the body, I think, will choose carbs until it doesn't have carbs, and then it can burn fat freely.
So that's what keto is. You take out the carbs and make your body use fats for fuel.
Use fats for fuel, and then your body goes, hey, we need a little extra. Your body fat gets burned. That's what people on keto get so lean, because it's like thinking we're burning fats, and it takes the fat out of your body. And like, but I think you have to be really dialed in. I think that diet's great for a sedentary person or even just a gym person can do it. But if you're training and surfing and grinding in the sun, this is my life.
Dude, I haven't been over here in a while. Holy shit, is this thing pulling up?
It parks right there. Wait, let me go close the door back there.
It's funny, Nate knows more about diet and foods and health and like hormone levels and like supplements over anyone else I know in my life. And I know the food he eats is terrible, but he chooses to eat it after knowing everything. So I do come to you for advice, like right now, and like I have a couple other things to ask you, but your diet does blow my mind.
Yeah.
But you know how I've been really curious about. There's a bit of a fad going on with the carnivore diet.
Oh yeah.
So what is this Like, what is the science behind that, and what do you think of that? Because I've been.
So I don't know the science behind it. All that I can think is that. So this is super weird because to me it's keto, right? They're not eating carbs. They're just eating meat.
No, they eat fruits.
Oh, they eat fruits.
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of back that call.
Really?
Meats and fruits, because fruits, people are like, oh, it's too sugary, but fruits also have fiber in them, and fiber slows the breakdown of carbs. So like for insulin spikes and all that kind of thing, if there's enough fiber in the fruit, you're not getting like super crazy insulin spikes because your body has to break down the fiber with the carbohydrate, is from what I've learned or think I know. Fruit is like a really good carb. Plus you have all these other vitamins that you're getting in a single food, right?
Yeah.
You have like a really vitamin-packed carbs that are healthy and fiber all in one little food. So fruit, I think, is insane. The fact that they're eating fruit, I didn't know. I thought they were just on a strictly steak diet.
I think some people are.
And I was like, that sounds just like keto to me. Like,
No,
except you're cutting out any sort of vitamins through vegetables.
I think they do like just red meat, butter, milk. I want to say cheese and fruit.
I think that's a sick diet.
Yeah.
Thinking about it with the fruit and stuff, and I think you would be healthy and lean if you were getting enough food in, eating that diet. With the fruit and everything, I back it. But what did you ask originally again?
What you thought about that diet?
Thinking about it now, I think it's something I would probably try. I mean, I was gonna say before that, from what I know of, when I thought they weren't eating fruits, was your body can turn protein into a carb or a fat. I think is what it was. Your body, if it doesn't have enough energy, it can convert protein into carb and consume it like that, and it will do that if it's on a severe lack. And so like some keto people are like, I don't think you could, if you're on keto, you should be eating so much protein and vegetables and everything, but some of them were like, oh, I've been kicked out of keto because of too much protein. Your body had the ability to turn the protein to carbs.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, like to that level,
Crazy.
but I just can't see that. If you're being physically active, your body needs all of it. But carnivore diet, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know much about it, but the fruit
It's all
thing,
over like social media right now.
it's like the Liver King thing.
Oh yeah, no, that's his diet.
And then that other guy, for some reason, I didn't know they were eating the fruit. I thought they were just consuming crazy amounts of meats and,
I
and
could
organs
be
and all that.
completely wrong. The organs I don't understand.
Yeah, going back to just diet in general, I will say like the best diet I found for surfing was it's called counting your macros.
Yeah.
And this is where you weigh and measure your food, and you have a goal of what you need to hit every single day. There's apps where you measure the amount of the grams of carbs, grams of protein, and grams of fat, and you find the numbers, the exact numbers where you're at a deficit and you're losing weight. And so these guys scientifically will lose weight, gain weight, or stay the same weight based off hitting these numbers every single day and factoring in the amount of training they're doing. But it was really cool because I did this for like 2 months at one point, and
I remember I did it too.
yeah,
This
you
was
get
a long time
so
ago.
dialed in.
Yeah.
Your recovery is insane. Like full weight training days and surf days, and waking up the next day fresh.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact of you're never getting a deficit in. You're at a performance eating mode where you eat all of the food, and then it's clean. You're eating clean foods. You can't just hit normal, like, oh, I got my macros from Cheetos or things like that. You have to eat clean food. And so it's really difficult because when you realize to hit these numbers in clean food, dude, you have to eat so much food. You have to, like, I'm not a morning person. I don't eat in the morning, but the amount to get my calories in and my macros, I was having to wake up, eat or have like a protein shake, and then I surf or work out, protein and carbs, and then have a full meal, and it's all like sweet potatoes and vegetables and salmons and chickens and steaks, and like your meals are clean, your meals are dialed, but the amount of mental stress it took to like weigh every day, and like I just couldn't take it anymore. When you're like training and surfing at the same time, it became such a stress on the program.
You can't come in for like 30 minutes from surfing.
No, it was
and then
just
like weigh your food out and then go, but like it's
it was like a nightmare. But that being said, I felt literally my engine, my recovery. I wasn't getting sore anymore. I was feeling fresh after like a 4 or 5 hour session. Like it was crazy. It was so crazy. It was borderline performance enhancing. Like,
It's crazy.
yeah, but it just takes that much work. All it is like a ton of work and willpower to stay clean.
Just commitment. I've found, so I've done a few diets that, like, a couple of years ago, I definitely steered away from diets and just like tried to figure out what I can sustain.
Yeah.
Because diets are just tough for me. But I figured out now, like, the best thing for me is I just eat food at home that I've cooked, which I'm not the best cook, so it's not always the best, but my girlfriend does a lot of cooking. It's really good. But as long as I eat at home and it's clean food, I eat carbs, protein, and vegetables. And that's it.
Yeah.
Just every day, every meal.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I want of it.
Yeah.
So that's the best thing I've found. As long as the food's clean, I just eat whatever.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I feel like if the food is clean and like the carbs are clean, vegetables and meats, you're gonna doing what we do. You're gonna get everything you need in, recover, and like stay fit and lean.
Yeah.
It's interesting because John is experimenting right now with his dieting, and I've been talking to him a bunch about it. And we both like have this thing of overtraining or over surfing, or like going really hard for 3 days, crashing and being wrecked for 2 days or 3 days, feeling horrible but continuing pushing on, and then you slowly recover, and it was like this endless grindy cycle. And so he's like on this program, like, okay, he's eating clean, but he's like, I'm not just eating clean, I'm like eating as much as I can.
Yeah.
He's eating as much as he can, and he's doing these as if, like, we learned this from our like long cycling rides, or even going on like the 3-day hike. Like, you have to stay ahead of your food. It's not a thing where you can exercise all day, and if you eat a massive amount at night, you're going to be good the next day. You're done already. The damage is done. You're not going to recover overnight.
You're done.
Like, but if you, throughout that day of exercise, during and after and middle, you're eating and eating and eating, then you're staying ahead of the recovery.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, we did that on our hiking, we did that on our cycling, I'm going to do that with what I'm doing right now, which is he's just surfing super hard. He's training a ton.
Yeah.
He's getting ready for the tour year, which is going to start this month.
Yeah.
And so he says he's been consuming like way more food, force feeding style, all clean with carbs and supplements and all this stuff. And these like carb powders, and during surfs, because he surfs really hard, these 3-hour sessions, he comes in and he has a hydrator and water and carb and goes back. He says he's on day 4 or 5 right now with the, like, we wear the Whoop thing. It's like he's at like 18 to 19 strains, which usually after 2 19-point strains, we would like start to burn out and crash.
Yeah.
He said he's tweaking out on energy. He's like, I don't even have to have caffeine in the afternoon. I'm tweaking. I'm sleeping good. I wake up like bolt upright, awake. And he said all he changed was just force feeding, like throughout the day versus just 3 main meals.
His mindset could be changing as well, like getting ready for contests. Like,
Yeah,
that's what
he could be
loves
getting
to do.
like
It's
super excited about it.
He wants to win a world title. He wants to train hard and do really well.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
I think that's a huge part. Though,
a huge part is like,
sounds like he's getting pumped up.
He's getting
to
pumped
win
up.
a title.
Yeah. And this year, dude, you see what he's did. Like, a lot of you guys are like, why isn't he in the shootout? Why isn't he doing the Triple Crown? Like, dude, there's a very specific reason, because last year, going into the tour year, he came off his injury. He did 6 events before event 1 of the year. He did that pipeline event that he won. Him and Ivan were in the final. It was like the qualifier event.
Oh yeah, the like one.
The regional event. He did that. He wins it. He did Haleiwa. He won Haleiwa. He then does the backdoor shootout. And do you remember what we were doing between the backdoor shootout? We were surfing heats, driving to Sunset, surfing an hour at Sunset, driving back to shootout heat, and ending at Haleiwa because we were trying to get scores for the Vans Triple Crown submission.
Oh god,
dude, we were on the most horrendous surf grind ever, and he got so burnt out from just like 8 events by like event 2 or 3 of the tour before his injury. He was just like, I think he was just burnt. Like, he had done literally 10 events, and he was on event 2 of the tour year. So this year he was like, screw all that, I'm gonna train and just go nuts, like dial everything in, surfing mock heats, training in the gym, surfing a ton just all around at the specific waves, and go into event 1, like you said, just 100%. this is like gonna be a crazy tour. It'll be super exciting to watch. I'm just
First
hoping.
event's at Pipe, right?
Event 1 Pipe, Event 2 Sunset.
Oh my God, he's gonna win both of them.
I hope so.
So yesterday I was pretty hungover after like the shootout and decompressing and stuff, and like finding out Kalal was gonna survive and end up making a recovery. I just like ended up randomly drinking beers and then got hammered.
If Koa's drinking beers, it's turning to hammered. There's not. I'm gonna have a few beers to cap the day off. When Koa says I'm decompressing, you better expect a freaking huge night out. If Koa ever comments that you want to decompress, I'm like, oh, seatbelt on, here we go.
I can't even. If everyone's just having a beer after surfing, I can't do it.
Yeah.
No, like I just one speed. But what was I gonna say? Oh, I woke up yesterday morning hungover, like knowing the waves would be good. They couldn't run the shootout because it was a holiday, and I stumbled down to like Pipe and Backdoor just to see if it's actually good. And I just saw John get 2 sick waves that would have been like high scores in the shootout.
Really?
Yeah.
At Backdoor?
Yeah.
Oh my
Backdoor
gosh.
and Pipe.
Did that the other morning too. It's too easy for him.
Yeah. Like he made a like full 6-8 foot slab at Backdoor, pumping as hard as he could through like this gnarly double up part, spit out. And I was like, oh, I should probably be surfing, but I'm gonna go home and lay on my couch.
What are you gonna do after the day you had?
I'm like, I just cannot wait for the hungover day to be nighttime.
Dude, just please
go
end
back
this
to
day.
bed
Please end
and
this
reset.
day and reset.
Dude,
It's what you do. Take out the trash.
my New Year's resolution was to never be hungover again. Not stop drinking, but not be hungover and drink less. Just went right out the window 2 weeks in.
That's a difficult thing to do.
Dude.
I want to eliminate my hangovers, but I'm not going to stop drinking. If there's some freak scientists out there, give us your cures. We need them.
Leave a comment, please.
Favorite hangover cure, leave the comments. We need help.
I think everything I've learned, it's all pre the next day. You have to do things beforehand.
Yeah.
Or that night.
I think so.
God, hangovers suck. I still feel a little like drained from like those 2 huge days of surfing and then drinking, no water, no food. I didn't have food.
Oh my god.
0 food.
So bad.
Because like when I have big days of surfing, if I eat midday, I just go downhill. So that's super impressive that John can just eat tons of food midday and go out with tons of energy.
I feel the same way.
It's like if I know I'm going out again, I'm just gonna have water and hydrator.
100%.
And maybe like a bite of a bar.
Bar,
like
yeah.
A
I have
bar.
like a little bar thing
Yeah.
because anything more in my energy box bad.
I have to go to bed.
That's why I don't even eat in the morning. I go coffee, 4-hour session.
Yeah.
No food because it's just like I can't stand anything affecting the energy.
Yeah, it's hard to eat in the morning for me too. Maybe it's because we drink so much caffeine. I drink so much coffee.
Coffee is a
crazy.
superfood.
This is an energy drink right here. I'm trying to like slow it down.
I chug mine.
I know, you're just tweaking over there. Oh, you turned your fan on.
I had to turn the fan on. I started sweating again.
Chairs are sick.
Okay, so let's go over the wave of the winter thing.
Okay, yeah. Well, probably should have went over that before we went on the podcast, but let's figure it out.
So,
what do we do? Do we make a website? I'm down to do it. I think 100% we should do it.
here's what I think we could do it so simply. Everything is run through the podcast channel. It's all the submissions. We'll do the review thing, and we are friends with some of the best surfers in the world, guys that aren't going to be in it competing it. They're older now.
Yeah.
We have our judges. We have every week or every month we'll break down the top 5, and we'll still need to go over like what we'll do this year, whether it's from here on out or it's from anyone could submit from the rest of the winter.
Yeah.
The shootout days, any of those days, like we'll go over that and see.
I did get the highest score of the shootout.
Yeah, we'll make an official announcement on that.
They might just be writing half of the checks.
Here, take half of my life and my soul.
Oh my god, that'd be the best moment of my entire life. I'll just give it to Jack.
Yeah.
Throw a party.
Yeah. And so I think it's pretty simple. We'll have submissions at the email and do the whole thing.
Should we? Yeah.
There's a little more organizing to do on the back end.
Should we make a website that people can like upload it to the website and then we can put it up
Dude,
on YouTube?
I think everything will be seen on the YouTube. We just need an email for them to transfer it to.
We basically just need
'Cause it's
a system for the surfers to use to get their clips seen
I
by
think-
you guys.
Yeah.
And then we got to figure out the judges.
You know what we'll do so we don't have it on the podcast email? We'll make a separate email.
Yeah, we'll do a new one.
And we also have to, there's other stuff for sure to talk about.
We need like holding periods, like how long does this go till? Because a thing in the past with Wave of the Winter, sometimes the best wave of the year has been caught
After or before.
the holding period.
After or before.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It happened to me one time in April. I got a crazy wave.
Yep.
And to me, I think it was a really good wave and like up there to compete with that year's winner, and it didn't count.
Okay, so we have still more things to figure out, but it's cool because you guys are part of the process. We're just literally planning this thing on the fly. The cool thing is it's fucking pretty simple, and I'm 100% sure we can pull it off.
We can do it for sure.
A few more things we need to figure out on the back end, and then I think we'll just make a live announcement so the other surfers can see it.
Yeah.
On both our Instagrams, we'll say, hey, this is where you submit. This is the prize purse. This is the time period.
These are the judges.
These are the judges. Where are the winners back on? Sponsored by the Nate & Co. podcast.
Here we go.
Full breakdowns on the Nate & Co. podcast.
Yeah.
Every month we do a top 10 or so.
Yeah.
You guys will be part of that. You guys will be seeing all these waves. You'll be seeing what we think was more technically ridden versus someone just breezing through. Maybe a wave that was Wave of the Winter. All that kind of cool stuff we'll be having breakdowns on.
And we would love to hear from you guys too. Leave a comment of like what you think would be a good idea for it, and whatever. You guys have been so supportive. There's so many comments on the last videos. I'm trying to get through like reading all of them. I think the last video has like 600 comments.
It's insane. Thank you guys for all the support and the subscribers. Like, you guys are doing good. We need everyone to go subscribe to get this channel boosted. But
thank you.
Like,
we're almost at 10,000 subscribers in like 6 days.
10K subs in 1 week.
All thanks to you guys. And we're so glad you guys like the channel.
Amazing.
We're gonna get better at this. We're gonna get people on to interview eventually. But for right now, every Thursday we're gonna be dropping videos.
Yes.
We're gonna start Wave of Winter. Hopefully we can pull it together this year. I think we can.
Yeah.
And subscribe to our channel, like this video, leave a comment of what you'd like to see.
So before we go, because we're filming this, we're gonna put it out on Thursday, and the backdoor shootout winner is announced Saturday.
The winner. So, no one wanted to really do anything or celebrate or do the award ceremony.
Everyone didn't know if the guys were okay.
Everyone was in limbo, just so worried about Claw. So the winner will be announced this coming Saturday. So this video is going out tomorrow on Thursday, right?
Yep.
Oh no,
it's in a few days.
Okay.
Either way,
this is dropping on Thursday. We will know on this coming Saturday who's won the shootout.
Who do you think won?
I don't know. I'd say Benji. I'm pretty sure he got 2 like sick ones. Top 3 waves. I got the best wave of the event. I got a 10.
Your wave was one of the. I didn't watch both full days, but from the really good day, your wave was one of the best waves I've seen.
Yeah.
Through the whole day. Did you have the backups?
I had a 7 and a 6, like a 7 something.
Yeah.
So those guys might have had like. I think your brother had a couple 9s.
Kelly
had a couple.
I haven't had 2
9s.
crazy. Oh, Kelly's waves were crazy. I forgot about that. He had a left and right.
Claw Grace was
Yeah.
Way up there.
Okay, well, you guys watched the shootout, so put your picks down below too, and then we'll be able to see whoever picks right. We'll give a little shout out in the next pod.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe try to get him on here.
Yep, that would be amazing. Cool.
We should get your brother on here too.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys.
Who knows where we're gonna be next podcast?
We're switching location every time.
Finding the best one. These chairs are too comfy.